Here are today's most relevant news you need to know. Presidential candidates lay out their platforms on COVID-19 response. Antipolo City begins vaccinating younger population. DepEd wants to escalate limited face-to-face classes in areas under alert levels 1 and 2. Good morning, Philippines. Today is Thursday, February 3, 2022. I am V. Innocentes and this is DC Patrol. As the 2022 presidential election looms, candidates for the highest positions in the land are now mapping out their plans on how the Philippines would recover from the havoc brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. Tiffany Caberoy and Alan Lustre will give us the full story.
Similar to what President Rodrigo Duterte's promise to end the country's drug problem in just 6 months, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno also vows to follow the said timeline as he aims for post-pandemic normalcy by December 31 or 6 months after his first day of elected president. Moreno said he wants to bring back the normal life in education and the workplace while learning to live with it. Incumbent Vice President Leni Robredo meanwhile banks to continue on her Kalayaan sa COVID plan, which aims for freedom from worries of getting sick, freedom from hunger, and freedom from insufficient education due to the negative effects of the pandemic. Robredo also ramped up the national vaccination rollout that encompasses all people. For Senator Ping Lacson, a future-proof strategy anchored on revamping the health sector, pump-priming the economy and ensuring good governance will guide the country in the new normal. He said that the proper approach of this health crisis must be proactive and not reactive, based only on science and driven by accurate data and not by pandemic politics, and never motivated by immoral opportunism to make money out of the people's misery.
On the other hand, Bongbong Marcos Jr. pushes for higher budget for healthcare and medical research. As part of his recovery plans, Marcos calls it the Tawid COVID, Beyond COVID program that would prioritize improving the conditions of frontline medical workers, including increased salaries and benefits. Senator Manny Pacquiao on his case seeks for more vaccination to prevent lockdowns, which forces business to close, leaves people jobless, and plunges the economy into recession. Pacquiao said that nurses, medical technologists, pharmacists, and other healthcare professionals should have a minimum salary of 50,000 pesos, on top of other perks like the special risk allowance, so they won't resort to find greener pasture overseas. Moreover, Labor leader Leo de Guzman shoots for 1 trillion peso tax-funded recovery to help workers after being derailed by the pandemic. De Guzman is also keen on strengthening of the vaccination drives by incentives and not sanction to individuals.
This is Tiffany Caberoy.
And this is Allen Lustre, reporting for DC Patrol.
With the national government targets to achieve herd immunity by the first quarter of 2022, the local government of Antipolo City is doing its share by expediting vaccination against COVID-19 on the younger population. More details from Alyssa Acharon.
The Antipolo City government has started inoculating minors aged 12 to 17 in various COVID-19 vaccination centers in the city, to help the national government achieve herd immunity against the deadly COVID-19. Residents who wish to get vaccinated must present a QR code, birth certificate, and valid ID. Meanwhile, if the minor is classified as pediatric A3 or minors with comorbidities, the standard Department of Health medical clearance is needed. The minor with confirmed schedule will receive a confirmation via text message regarding the venue, site, and date of the vaccination of either Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. Mayor Inares reminded the parents and their children to follow health protocols and sign the necessary forms to be given at the vaccination site. The parent or guardian accompanying the minor who is scheduled for vaccination may also get vaccinated at the same time if he or she has not yet been vaccinated. This is Alyssa Acharon, reporting for DC Patrol.
The COVID-19 pandemic has severely taken its toll on the education sector, with hundreds of thousands of Filipino students being left behind. The reason why the Department of Education recommends a solution to address the dilemma. What is this? Yuan Pamintuan with the report.
The Department of Education has proposed a progressive expansion of limited face-to-face classes in areas placed under Alert Level 1 and 2, but added that they will seek input from students' parents before allowing in-person classes in more schools. Education Secretary Leonor Briones also recommended that the expansion of in-person classes starts no earlier than the first week of February. Under government's alert system, Alert Level 2 are areas placed with low and decreasing case transmission and with low healthcare utilization, while Alert Level 1 are areas placed where virus transmission is low and decreasing. Briones assured President Rodrigo Duterte that they will seek the concurrence of local government units and parents of the students before allowing in-person classes in eligible area. The Deputy Chief added that more face-to-face may take place starting at the first week of February, noting that some regions, including National Capital Region and Region 4A, will be under Alert Level 3 until the end of the month. This is Yuan Pamintuan reporting for DAZSMA Patrol.
More stories to watch in DC Patrol. Indonesia to move capital Jakarta to a new city due to climate change. Boy's eagerness to treat his grandpa to a samgyeopsal trends online. Stay tuned for all of these when DC Patrol returns.
From the finest home of great DAZSMA's pride, here are some of our treasure shaped over the years. Maria Abigail Maraño, Batch 2009.
Marano puts it down.
Kay Malana Cantong, Batch 2002.
Six-part invention.
And Juan Cholonario Wanlu, Batch 1986.
Wanlu.
Be one of us.
Welcome back to DC Patrol. Due to the rise in sea level because of climate change, which accelerated Jakarta to sink, the Indonesian government was forced to solve this problem by transferring the former capital city into a new location. Here is my report. Indonesia has named its new capital Nusantara as lawmakers approve the shift from Jakarta to Kalimantan, which is a jungle-covered area on the east of Borneo Islands. Concerns over the sustainability of the congested and rapidly sinking political center of Jakarta prompted the need for a new capital, and the nation's House of Representatives officially passed a bill recently regarding the relocation. President Joko Widodo first announced the capital would be relocated in 2019, as he cited concerns over Jakarta's environmental and economic sustainability. Jakarta sits on swampy ground near the sea, which makes it especially prone to flooding, as one of the fastest sinking cities on Earth according to the World Economic Forum. The first stage of relocation, that would likely cost around $32 billion, is expected to begin in 2022 and run to 2024, with development expected to last until 2045, according to Minister of National Development Planning, Suharto Mono Arfa. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it." Truly, a kid who trended online due to his kindness is starting to live this Bible verse. Danica Condino, tell us more about this heartwarming story.
Netizens were inspired by the story of a boy who tried to make some money in order to treat his grandfather for a samgyeopsal. Joshua has a long desire to eat that famous Korean dish, but since the money he's earning from selling something isn't enough, he could not afford to do so. For that reason, his grandpa advised him to save more bucks so they can fill it sooner, on which the child agreed. Joshua and his lolo came back to the restaurant after completing 199 pesos. But with the staff's goodness, the samgyeopsal they are craving for had been given them for free. The restaurant also let them bring home the excess food so that they could continue eating at home. Their trending touching story already garnered thousands of heartfelt reactions and motivating comments. Joshua makes us realize that we should be thankful, contented, and appreciative for everything we have, be it big or small. This is Danica Contino reporting for DC Patrol.
Up next in DC Patrol, boxer Mark Magsayo a new toast for Filipinos as he becomes the Philippines' newest world champion. Cute dog who knows how to commute prim and proper leaves netizens smiling. Stay tuned for all of these when DC Patrol returns.
Back when every school activities was done face-to-face, OSJACAA was one of the most anticipated gathering and competition of OSJ schools. But what is OSJACAA? During OSJACAA, talented and willing students participate in a certain competition where they best fit. This aims at increasing students' wit and enable them to create a distinct, strong sense of identity. Due to overwhelming pandemic, this may be challenging, but that should not prevent us from learning and having fun, which is the primary goal of OSJACAA. So how about you? Can you tell us how OSJACAA impacted you?
Welcome back to DC Patrol. The Philippines has once again proved to the world that it is home to glorious boxers after a new Filipino champion made history recently. To know who is this and how did he achieve such a feat, Rainier Magbuhos scoops in.
Mark Magsayo joined the pantheon of Filipino boxing champions after he wrested the WBC featherweight title from Gary Russell Jr. with a majority decision win recently at the Borgata Hotel Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The 26-year-old became the fifth active Filipino champion, joining Rene Cuarto, Jerwin Ancas, Janiel Casimiro, and Donito Donaire. Judges Mark Constantino and Henry Grott scored the fight 115 to 113, 115 to 113 in favor of Magsayo, effectively overturning Lynn Carter's card of 114 to 114. The Filipinos' victory ended Russell's reign of 6 years and 10 months, which was the longest active championship rule prior to the match. Meanwhile, the injured Russell plunges for a rematch, with Magsayo open for the challenge but leaves for Emperor Promotions the fate of his next duel. This is Rainier Magbuhos reporting for DC Patrol.
It's magical how dogs make humans happy. These fur babies' adorable traits and affection are simply a source of joy. In this report of Tiffany Caberoy, meet a cute dog who is too comfortable boarding public utility vehicles.
A well-behaved dog named Haru went viral online while boarding on a jeepney without it being carried by his owner and seems so accustomed to traveling or commuting. Fur parent Rina Contape said in an entertainment website interview that her female golden retriever, Aspen Mix, which she cares 3 years now, is a truly disciplined one. Haru's calmness could be traced from her familiarity on riding different vehicles whenever she and Zorina are traveling together. Dorina said she is one of proud mama of her adorable pet as it makes a lot of people happy, especially her family who considered Haru as big part of their lives. For Dorina and all dogs lovers out there, dogs are truly man's best friend. This is Tiffany Caberoy reporting for DC Patrol.
These are all the top stories researched and collected by our DC Patrol team. And for today's word of motivation, former United States First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt has her one piece of advice to students. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Again, we are reminding everyone, especially the youth, to vote wisely in the presidential elections. Also, let us take part in curbing the pandemic by obeying the health protocols and getting vaccinated. Keep updated on the latest news that you need to know here at DC Patrol. You can also follow us on our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube accounts. Once and for all, this is Via Inocentes for DC Patrol. Good morning.